Once a team nobody feared. Now a team everyone takes seriously. But how? How did this club from the north of Norway surpass a legacy like Rosenborg, a strong structure like Molde, and competitive teams like Viking? How did a team that was barely known in Europe just a few years ago suddenly become a project analyzed by top clubs, closely watched by managers, and followed with curiosity by fans? And most importantly, how did Bodø Glimt actually achieve this? Because this is not just the story of a team that had a few good seasons. This is the story of how the right ideas, the right football intelligence, and the right system can completely transform a club from top to bottom. Founded in 1916, the club spent many years on the margins rather than at the center of Norwegian football. The real turning point came in 2017 when they were promoted from the second division, and from 2018 onward, they began building a stable structure in the top tier. The real explosion came in 2020. The city of Bodø, geographically, is not one of the traditional power centers of Norwegian football. And that's exactly why this team didn't rise by following the classic big club model. Instead, they grew through a smarter, more modern, and more courageous approach. That was their difference. Not spending more money, but thinking better. At the center of this story is one name, Kjetil Knutsen. With his arrival, Bodø Glimt stopped playing like a typical Norwegian team. Because Knutsen's football wasn't just about let's attack, it was about using space intelligently, reducing the time needed to win the ball back, suffocating the opponent, and pushing the game as much as possible into the opposition's half. Today, one of the key aspects highlighted in technical analyses about Bodø Glimt is exactly this: their incredible effectiveness in transitions, wide connections, and fast attacking sequences. So, how does Bodø Glimt actually play? On paper, most of the time, it's a 4-3-3. But the formation on paper is only a small part of the story, because the real strength of Bodø Glimt is not in their shape, but in their movements. Fullbacks don't play like traditional defenders. They provide width in attack. Wingers don't just stay wide, they cut inside and become direct goal threats. The midfield trio doesn't simply pass the ball. They constantly create triangles, switch positions, and control the game even when the opponent has possession. And the most critical point is this: when Bodø Glimt lose the ball, their game doesn't stop. In fact, that's where it begins. Because one of the most dangerous moments for this team is the first few seconds after losing possession. Immediate pressing, immediate pressure, immediate recovery. A structure that gives the opponent no time to think. Now ask yourself this: how many teams in the Norwegian league stay this organized the moment they lose the ball? How many teams can be this brave, this disciplined, and this consistent at the same time? This is where Bodø Glimt separates itself from Viking, Molde, Rosenborg, and the rest. Because many teams can build good squads. Many teams can win games with a few talented players. But very few teams can build a system strong enough to sustain the same level of play even when the players change. To truly understand Bodø Glimt's rise, you have to go back to the 2020 season, because that year they didn't just win the league, they redefined it. They finished the Eliteserien with 81 points, won 26 out of 30 matches, and scored 103 goals. This wasn't just a title, it was a statement. We are on a different level. That season, Kasper Junker became the league's top scorer with 27 goals, while Philip Sinkernagel, also from Bodø Glimt, finished as the assist leader with 18 assists. They weren't just winning games, they were producing football like a machine. Now think about this. What does it mean for a team to have both the league's top scorer and the top assist provider in the same season? It means the system elevates the players beyond individual brilliance. Yes, Junker's finishing inside the box was excellent. Yes, Zinkernagel's creativity and final passes were crucial, but what truly made them special was the flow created by Bodø Glimt. Because this team didn't just feed one striker, they forced the opponent into constant wrong decisions. If you focused on one player, space opened elsewhere. If you closed down the wing, the center became vulnerable. If you thought you had broken the press, the second wave arrived. That's why describing Bodø Glimt as simply a good team is not enough. At some point, they started playing like a machine. In 2021, many expected the usual drop-off that often follows a surprise title. But Bodø Glimt refused. They won the league again, back-to-back titles. Proof that 2020 was not a coincidence. That season, Erik Botheim scored 21 goals, Ulrik Saltnes added 13, Ole Solbakken contributed 11, and Patrick Berg added 8. This distribution was crucial because the team was not dependent on a single star. The goal-scoring load was shared. Production came from the center, from the wings, from everywhere. And then came Europe, the real test, the real question. Okay, many said, they can do this in Norway, but what about Europe? This is where Bodø Glimt's story went beyond Norwegian borders. In the autumn of 2021, they beat Roma 6-1. Yes, you heard that right. Mourinho's Roma conceded 6 goals in Bodø. That match was more than just a result. It was the night Europe learned the name Bodø Glimt. And the most important part wasn't just the score, it was how they did it. They didn't play with fear. They didn't abandon their identity. They respected the opponent, but they didn't adapt to them. They played their own game. And Roma didn't just lose, they couldn't handle the tempo. Later, in the quarter-final first leg, Bodø Glimt beat Roma again, this time 2-1. So was it just a one-off shock? No. That same season, they beat Celtic 3-1 away, and then 2-0 at home. A 5-1 aggregate win, a clear statement, because in Europe, you can surprise a big team once, but beating them convincingly over 2 legs is something else entirely. Bodø Glimt did exactly that. They reached the quarterfinals of the UEFA Europa Conference League. For a Norwegian club, that's not just a nice story. That's a structural achievement. Looking at the players during this European run, you see the same pattern again. The team creates stars. Ole Solbakken stood out with his pace, directness, and finishing. Patrick Berg controlled the rhythm of the game. Ulrik Saltnes disrupted defenses with late runs from midfield. Later on, players like Hugo Vetlesen, Albert Grønbæk, Jens Petter Hauge, Håkon Evjen, and Runar Espejord also became important parts of the system. This is key. Bodø Glimt's success was not tied to a single generation. The squad evolved. But the identity remained, and this brings us to the most critical point. At Bodø Glimt, the system is bigger than the players. That sounds simple, but it's the club's biggest secret. Because normally, smaller clubs rise with a few good players and fall when those players leave. But at Bodø Glimt, players left, and the system stayed. Junker left. Others stepped up. Solbakken left. New solutions emerged. The squad changed. But the pressing didn't. The tempo didn't. The courage didn't. That's why Bodø Glimt is not just a successful team, they are a sustainable model. To understand how dominant they've become, you have to look at their rivals. Rosenborg is still historically the biggest name in Norwegian football. Molde has been consistently strong. Viking has been competitive. But Bodø Glimt's advantage is not just being better occasionally. It's maintaining a higher standard consistently. That's where domination begins. The 2023 season proved it again. They finished top of the league, scored 78 goals, and Amal Pellegrino became both the top scorer and the assist leader with 24 goals and 15 assists. Those numbers say everything about their attacking power. But again, it wasn't just Pellegrino, it was the system. Bodø Glimt didn't just win, they changed perception. They pushed the limits of what a northern club could achieve. And now the question is no longer, is Bodø Glimt a big club? The real question is, who can stop Bodø Glimt now? Legacy of Eliteserien is a channel dedicated to telling the stories of Norwegian football. Here, you don't just watch matches, you discover the real stories behind the teams. From rising clubs like Bodø Glimt to historic giants like Rosenborg, everything is covered. The goal is to bring you closer to Eliteserien and reveal the hidden side of the game. Every video is built around detailed analysis and storytelling. If you're interested in Norwegian football, you're in the right place. There's a lot more coming. More teams, more stories, and deeper insights. Make sure to subscribe if you want to follow the journey. Don't forget to like the video and share your thoughts in the comments. And I'll see you in the next story.